Hey there, Dion Johnson here. I am the strategic partner, spiritual advisor, and executive power coach to women in board level leadership. I'm also the author of this book, Influential Woman. I wrote this, I liken writing this to blood, sweat, and tears, labor. It was hard work getting this book out, but I wrote it for you. I put your name on the cover so that you know it's for you. And if you haven't got your copy already, please go and get yourself one. Today, I want to talk to you. I've just come off a call with a client. It's like a really fantastic, powerful call with one of my private clients who's making head. I mean, she's incredible. But I was telling her about a vision that I had on Sunday. So on Sunday, I was standing up in my church and I had this vision of who I work with, right? What my people are going through. And what I saw was this very powerful woman. I mean, everything about her was powerful. She was filled up with power to change her world. She was a powerful leader, a powerful orator, a powerful ideas person. She had powerful insights. That I could see this power on this woman. And she was a chief executive, and I could see her trying to step into this outfit, this bodysuit, and the bodysuit was called the CEO. So she was trying to fit into this, like this bodysuit had the look of what was expected of a CEO, what she thought that people needed to see of her as a chief exec. And so she was really squashing herself into the suit. It was a bit like I want to say spandex, or one of those well, in my family we call them tuck me ins, the bodysuits that help you to kind of constrain the Michelin man belly, the flabby belly or whatever. So she's stepping into this suit, and she's pulling it up, and it's really tight, but she's squashing herself into it because she wants to appear, she wants to look like the kind of CEO that everybody expects. She wants to look like, be like, come over like, show up like um the norm, the norm for chief executives. So she's putting herself into this suit. And so I was explaining this to my client this morning. I was explaining that I saw this vision, and my client's got a very similar call work to mine. So she really understood it. She really got what she was saying. But after the call, when I ended the call, I was still thinking about it. And the story came to me of David and Goliath. Now, I know that David and Goliath is a really popular children's story, a little fable that we tell children, but not everybody knows that it's a real story. It's about a real king, King David. It's about a real situation, and it's biblical. It's a biblical story, and I'm a Bible girl, so I know this story very well. And so what a part of the story that really jumped out at me this morning as I was thinking about it was this part of the story where David, who's a really unpopular brother, like he's got seven other brothers who are really sort of like big leader types. They look the part, they've got the persona, they've got the muscles, they've got the brawn, they've got the look, and they've got the respect of their father as warriors and king-like people, right? And so they're, hold on, have I got this right? Yeah, this is right. This is right. The brothers are with the king at the time. The king at the time is called Saul, and they are all gone out to fight this enemy, the Philistines. Now, the Philistines, or the Philistines, depending on where you live, the Philistines had this chief warrior called Goliath. And Goliath was like 9 foot tall. He had a shield that was like the size of a city, you know, like a really great big shield. He was this tracting, intimidating, imposing warrior that was fighting for the Philistines, and everyone was afraid. Like David's brothers, the king, Saul, they were all sort of hidden behind their barracks, you know, afraid, cowering at the thought of this intimidating Philistine called Goliath. And Goliath would speak, tell them all that he was going to do with them. He's going to eat them for breakfast. He's going to kill them all, right? And they're all really afraid. So David, who wasn't invited to be part of the army, David, who was kind of abandoned into the backyard to look after the sheep, one day his father said, "Hey, David, come and take this food to your brothers who are on the battlefield. Come and take this food to give them sustenance. Come and take their packed lunch," right? So David was sent on an errand to go to the battlefield to give his brothers, the mighty ones, the packed lunch. And when he gets there, he sees what's happening. He sees Goliath, this Philistine, issuing all the threats and all this big talk about how he's going to kill them all. And he sees his brothers and the army and the king cowering over here, like quivering at the knees, like really afraid and not knowing, not advancing to get rid of this enemy, right? So David looks at what's going on and he says, I can take him out. I can take out that Goliath. And it's such a long story. I hope I'm doing this justice, but I really want to share this point with you. So David says, I can take this giant out. And the bit of the story that I thought about today to share with you is that at that point when David convinces the king and the army to let him go and take out this giant, the king reluctantly agrees, because they think, who the heck are you, this little boy who looks after sheep in the back, like, how are you going to do this? But David is so cocksure of himself that he says, give it to me, I'll do it. So the bit that I want to tell you is that Saul says, okay, I'm going to let you do it, but here, put on this armor, put on this protection, put on this suit that will protect you. And so David tries on this suit. David tries on this armor, this like really big, clunky, heavy armor. And he says, look, I'm sorry, but if I'm gonna win against this giant, I've got to do it in my own suit. I can't wear this. I can't put on your armor to go fight this war. I've got to fight this war as me. I've got to put on my own uniform. I've got to go. I can't be bogged down by your cloak, your expectations, your way of doing things, yours. I can't. I need to be free to go and do it. And we know the story, right? David picks up 5 stones and he uses his slingshot, which he's been practicing using against the enemies that try to take away his sheep. That's a whole other story. We'll talk about that later on. But I'm so excited about sharing this with you. He goes and he uses what he knows, his slingshot and a stone, and he takes out Goliath. Why am I sharing this story with you? I'm sharing it with you because it's come to me to share with you that some of us, like I saw on Sunday, are in these positions, in these high-level leadership positions, and we are tasked with dealing with some big, imposing, intimidating problems: inequality, injustice, illness, sickness and disease, indifference, all the isms, right? There are these big giant problems parading around, and we as leaders are really tasked to, we can't just be focused on profit anymore. We've got to be thinking about how we tackle these great big problems. And what I want to say today is that we have to do it as our real selves. We can't do it stuffing ourselves into what we think it looks like, what we think is appropriate, what we think is is acceptable behavior for a chief executive or a director or a head or an expert. We've got to find our own leader style. We've got to find our own leader identity, our authentic leader identity, the truth of who we really are, the truth of what we really have to say, the truth of what we're really good at, the things that we're really seeing, the ideas that our own true ideas and insights. We've got to find our way of doing it, our way of being the leader, our way of being on the battlefield, our way of approaching the problem. We've got to find our way. See, when we wear other people's styles, other people's way, use other people's words, when we tribal nod, we say the same things as everybody else is saying, it takes away the potency of what we're really carrying, which is insight and idea based on our own unique journey, our own unique path that has informed us about what needs to happen to make this problem better. Now, I don't know how this is coming across, but I want to say to you that it is time for you to find, to understand the you behind that persona of CEO, that persona of director, head, expert, that mask, that armory that you put on to go into this workplace, to be acceptable, to find yourself in the room. It's time for us to take that all off. It's too clunky. It's making us sound like everybody else. It's like we're joining into the white noise. We sound like everybody else. And actually, the truth of the matter, isn't it, is that you have unique, valuable insights that are useful to helping us think differently about how we take out these giants. You have got stories, ideas, skills, insights that help us to have different approaches and different ideas and different ways of tackling these great big problems that we're facing. And that's what we need right now. We need new ways of doing things. And if you're busy trying to be the same as everybody else, wear the same suit, have the same armor, wear the same mask, say the same things, we can't get there. It's imperative that we have your unique, valuable insights, your unique, valuable style, your unique, valuable skills in high level, board level, high level leadership and governance. So I'm calling you out today. I'm calling you to think about what is your style? What is your authentic leader identity? What are your unique and valuable differentiating distinct points of view? What is your approach? What is your unique approach to it? If you could just sort of like scrap the scene of what everybody else is doing and go within and say, look, how do we deal? What's our biggest problem? And what do I really think? What is my real response to it? What do I really think needs to happen here? How do I think we need to pursue this? Now, this is how we begin to take out Goliath. Raw today, real, just flowing. I know that I'm going to be thinking about it some more today, but this is a story that's alive with me right now. This is a story that's come to share with you today, and I would love to know how it's landing. I'd love to know what you're taking from it. What does it mean to take off everybody else's armor, take off those masks that we can wear and show up to the battle against these giant issues as the real you? Let me know your thoughts and I'll speak soon. See you tomorrow. Oh, and I keep forgetting that I would love for you, if you want to talk, to use the link that accompanies this video to reach out. I'm here for you. Want to talk? See you later.